If you are looking for a new strategy for your business and unable to find one, and you have tried a couple of strategies and now you're going for the next one, this session is going to be your breakthrough. When I started my coaching business, switched from my corporate job, in the first few months, I was earning exactly the same amount of money that I was earning in my corporate career. And there is a very powerful reason for that, which I didn't know, is that we have an income ceiling. We are programmed to attract a fixed amount of money every single month, no matter what the vehicle is. You can change vehicle. You can start 10 different things. You can start 20 multiple sources of income. But until you change your income ceiling, you're going to keep attracting the same amount of money. And if you attract more, you're going to manifest an expense. That means something will break down or something else will happen. Not only that, what I realized was that we are almost shown this thing that there is this perfect strategy outside. There is this perfect thing that you have to look for. And the more you look for that, the more you feel stuck. And after trying 8 different strategies and each of them falling flat, I have some huge learning that I really want to share with you, some huge breakthroughs. When I started my coaching business and I was earning this money, I wanted to really scale. And I said to myself, I need to find that perfect answer, that strategy that is going to just make everything work. That is going to be the wonder. That's going to be the magic dust, right? I was told these days you have to create a lead magnet and you have to offer it to people. I created a lead magnet and I started running ads and I offered it to people. And before I knew it, I put 3,000 pounds down the drain and the lead magnet didn't really work. Not a lot of people got it. Then I was told lead magnets are the old thing. You have to try running a webinar because webinar is really powerful to help people have the breakthroughs. I created a webinar. I created a script, right? And I made sure that I really follow the script because I didn't really believe in myself. I didn't really trust that I would say the right thing. I followed the script. And the first time when I did the webinar, only 2 people showed up. One was my friend and one was somebody else. And that person dropped halfway. Then I was told that you don't have authority in the industry. So you need to write a book because when you write the book, people will give you that authority. People will see you as a respectable coach. The secret here is I never saw myself that way, but I was expecting the world to see that. I put the whole thing in the book. I wrote the book, put days and nights, sleepless nights. Took me 2 months to write it, 1 month editing. It was really, really long days and long nights. And then the book was out. And guess what? Nobody bought the book. Then I was told all these strategies are dead. What you want to try is the quiz. Do a quiz for your audience and help them see. And like that, I tried 8 different strategies and saw each of them falling flat. I found a pattern in me. After trying a couple of strategies, what I realized was that when I was on one strategy, I would already assume subconsciously it's not going to work, although I was trying, but because I've seen it, the older ones not working over and over again, I already assume it's not going to work. And subconsciously, I would already keep an eye out for the next strategy. What am I doing next? Energetically, I was already out of that and I was trying to find the next one. And when I found the next one, I would put that on pedestal and say, with this strategy, it's definitely going to work. I know. And as soon as that strategy, which I expected to fall flat, when it fell flat, I replaced it with a new strategy. And when I was executing it, I would take it off the pedestal and assume that it's not going to work now that I'm doing it. I kept doing it. Like every time I would do a strategy, I would subconsciously on autopilot assume it's not going to work and look out for the new one. After 8 strategies, I was tired. I was exhausted. And I remember that night when I was driving and I could see it was really, really dark. It was quite late in the night and the moon, there was full moon. And it really felt like the moon is following me everywhere. And I had tears in my eyes. And I'm like, I'm working so hard. I'm giving it all. I'm visualizing. I'm affirming. I'm journaling. I'm doing all the things. There is nothing that I'm missing. I am working hard and I'm doing all the mindset tools. Why this is not working for me? What am I missing? What is wrong with me? Why is it that people around me left and right making hundreds and thousands of dollars and millions of dollars, and it just doesn't seem to work for me? I have done it all. I've tried it all. I am dying my way to success. And that's when I pray that when I find the answer, I'm going to share it with the world, but tell me what I'm missing, because I'm sure there are people like me who are experiencing the same. Can you relate to this feeling? You're doing everything and still don't understand what am I missing, trying to find the next Instagram hack, the next reel, the next thing. It's always the next thing, right? And a few days later, I stumbled on this concept of self-image and identity. And I've heard of this before because I've been trained by Bob Proctor, but this was the first time I really understood it because I felt and experienced the pain. And what I realized was that I am programmed to attract a certain amount of money, and that's my self-image. That's how I really see myself at a subconscious level, and I cannot outperform it. More strategizing won't change it because my mind is programmed. It's like you put the address in the car that I want to go there, and my mind is just taking me to that number. And even if I drive longer, I still end up there because that's the address it is set at. I need to change the address in my mind. It's the first time I went within and I really started to geek out on my identity. I took every single identity course on the planet, read every single book on money identity, money psychology, money, everything I could get my hands on. And what I found was that although all these things gave me that breakthrough, but most of these courses and programs were getting us to build an identity, but not really uncovering what our current identity is. And the problem with that is that if you don't uncover your current identity, you're trying to build a new one on a one that is already controlling you, and it feels like it doesn't stick, right? So you feel like you're just becoming somebody else. That's when I really started to go within and say, how do I really see myself? And the more work I did, the more I uncovered and the more I uncovered. And I kept doing this over and over and over again. For a few weeks, I completely went within. And as I started to uncover my patterns, what I realized was I never saw myself as a coach. I saw myself as somebody trying to be a coach. So my mind was constantly trying. I never acted like a coach. So I never really did what a coach does. So I never acted like a coach. So I never really did what a coach does. That means I never really went out and teach people. I never really started coaching people. I never really went live. I never really did all those things. In fact, I was hiding behind the funnel. I was hiding behind the reel. I was hiding behind that perfect webinar script so that I don't have to say what I really want to say, or I'm not sure if I can really help transform people. So I'd rather just script the whole thing out, right? I was hiding behind the strategy. But I wasn't that coach. I wasn't that successful coach. And what I also realized is that when I did that, when my identity was leaking, right, when the energy was leaking, I was trying to make it up by working harder. And I had this constant feeling of emptiness that I'm not doing enough, this lack. I need to be doing more. I need to be doing more. I'm exhausted. I'm killing myself, but I still need to be doing more. Why that was is because my identity wasn't intact. So I was doing more, was compensating for being. And what I started to realize was that I was doing all the things as somebody who was trying. I saw myself as somebody who cannot really help people. So my work is not as powerful. Is it really going to help people? Is it not going to help people? I was dabbling. Subconsciously, I was keeping myself safe from being visible, from really claiming my voice, claiming my power. Right? I was building all of this with scarcity mindsets. In my corporate job, had an income which was pretty decent income, and it was enough to cover all my expenses. It paid all the bills. I had a comfortable life. My mind was saying, if your identity is enough and scarce, then why do you need more than enough? I was creating enough every single time because I was thinking from the place of enough. It's just enough. It's enough. Like bills are paid, everything is paid, it's enough. Not from the overflow. Building from the moment you hit the point of enough, you just stop. And the reason I was doing that is because I built my whole career from survival. I grew up in a very poor family with a lot of domestic violence issues. For me, building my career, really changing my life was my escape. And that came from survival. Now, when I'm trying to go from survival to overflow, I'm getting stuck at enough, the enough energy. The moment I get to the enough point, my mind stops. That's enough. You have reached the destination. You cannot build overflow from the energy of enough, because the moment you'll get there, it will stop. You will stop and you'll just have enough. What I realized was that I have these so many patterns running, and they're running my life, they're running my software, they're running my hardware, my body, and they're running me on autopilot. And just by working harder, I cannot outperform them. In fact, the harder I try, the more they control me, the more I end up there, the more frustrated I get. And when I uncovered them and I shifted them, I still remember that week, I felt like I'm born again. I felt this lightness in my body. I felt like I can breathe again. I felt a rebirth. I experienced a rebirth. And from that point, I was like, you know what? I want to share this with the world. I couldn't stop myself. I was like, I really want to share this with the world. I have this intense desire. I want to share this. I went out, I did a live, and I shared it with the world. I shared it with people. And nobody showed up to that live. But my energy and my desire to share was so powerful, it didn't even matter. And then I wanted to share more, and I wanted to share every single day what I'm experiencing. And none of that was coming from I should do that. It was more like I couldn't stop myself. It was so natural. A lot of people say you need to work hard. For me, not to do that was hard, because it was so natural. It was coming from my passion, my desire. I did live every day for 1 year because that made me feel alive. And in that process, I took on the identity of a successful coach. People started listening to me. They started sharing their breakthroughs and ahas. And then I was like, I want to take people through this experience of what I did. I really want to help them. I started offering calls, like coaching calls, right? Free coaching calls. And I started doing that, and I make them paid. And in that 2 years, I did 500 coaching calls with 500 different people. 500 coaching calls with 500 different people. And what I started to realize is that there are different identity patterns in every single person. It's like you're unique. You have your fingerprints, you have your identity blueprint. But the beauty of doing 500 of these calls, there was a beauty and there was a downside. But the beauty of doing those 500 calls was that you would tell me a sentence or a few things about you, and I would tell you all your patterns. In the first 15 minutes of conversation, I will uncover all your patterns, and I would exactly tell you which parts where you're blocking yourself, because I did it for 500 people. And because of that, I started to have back issues. Like I couldn't just sit like that. I couldn't sit because I was sitting like that all day doing this with 500 people, right? Every day, 8 hours a day, sitting like that. So I couldn't sit, and I had to find a different model to impact a lot more people, because this was coming up for so many people. So many people like me were trying the mindset tools, were trying the affirmations, the visualizations, journaling, all those things, like really trying to believe and feel it and feel good and all of those things, and it's not working. Many people started coming to me and saying why it's not working, and I would tell them why it's not working. Find their patterns, multiple patterns. And they would say, this call has saved me decades of my life. I've been trying this for decades. You have saved me the next decades of my life. I was trying to run this identity, or I was trying to overrun this identity with so many mindset tools, but I didn't even know that I was carrying this. Now, there is a really powerful breakthrough here, and I want you to really pay a lot of attention here. The reason mindset tools don't work when it comes to identity shift and when it comes to helping you match the frequency is because identity is not mindset. Identity is who you're being, and who you're being is in your body. We have three levels of program: conscious mind, which is where we understand right now you're listening, your conscious mind is open, it's listening to me; your subconscious, which is your habitual mind; and then your unconscious, which is your body. Anything that you do as a habit over a period of time becomes your unconscious mind. For example, when you wake up in the morning, you don't use your mind and think, shall I brush my teeth today or not? Is it what? You just get up and without even thinking, you go and brush your teeth on autopilot. You do your morning things, whatever you do. If you check your phone or you have a bath, you do it on autopilot, right? This thing is stored in your body. So your identity is stored in your body. That's why mindset tools cannot change that, because it has gone way past the mind. It's now stored here, everywhere. In your neck, in your throat here, there is an identity that I cannot say what I really want to say. I cannot express myself. I don't trust my voice. And that's what I was doing when I was doing that webinar. You remember I did that webinar? And I was scripting it perfectly so that I don't say what I really want to say because I couldn't trust myself. You could feel that tightness in your throat, right? There is an identity block in your heart where you feel you're not worthy, you don't love yourself. And as I do these tools with my clients, and as I've perfected them after working with 500, after doing those 500 calls, and now working with hundreds and hundreds of people afterwards, as I perfected these tools, when we do them, people start to have sensations in different parts of their bodies. Right? So the sensation in heart means that you don't love yourself enough. The sensation in your belly, underneath your belly button, is you don't trust yourself. The sensation in your back means you're not supported. The sensation in your ribs means you don't feel confident. There are identity blocks everywhere, and they are controlling you. They're running your show. And what you start to realize is that they are blocking you. They are blocking you. They are massively blocking you. And what you start to realize is they are blocking you. When I uncovered those things and when I shifted them, I matched the frequency straight away. I didn't have to force myself. I didn't have to force myself to visualize and see that and feel it. Because when you do that, you come against the pattern that is already running. That's the code that is already running. That is making up your income ceiling. And you just cancel that. That's why you're like, why am I not able to sustain the feeling? Why is it that I can visualize for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, but not sustain the feeling? Because your identity pattern is canceling that. As I started to really impact a lot of people, I had this desire that I want to now do a powerful masterclass. And I invited people, just the people in my audience, I invited all those people. And there were 1,000 people who registered for that. And I did that event. And in that event, it was not about that I need to do this or what's the strategy. I was just sharing my heart. I was doing it with all my love. I was doing it as my truest expression, opening my throat, opening my voice, really, really coming from the deep core of who I am. And when I launched my offer, Wealth Fountain, afterwards, what I realized was I turned my annual income in a month. In that weekend, I received my annual income in a month. And for the first time, it felt like the money in my bank account is like my phone number. Woo, what is this? And when I look back, what I realize is, as I shifted my identity, I've executed full-blown strategies. But they have come so naturally as a desire to express myself. And it wasn't hard to execute them. In fact, it was hard not to execute them. They were so natural, as if you're hungry, right? And you are saying, I want food, and you're hungry. And then you get the food. As if you feel that, like when you're hungry, it's hard not to eat. For me, those things were flowing through me. And it was hard not to do them. This is the power of identity work, where you don't have to fabricate this full-blown strategy, trying to search for the strategy. The strategy comes through you. And the best and the most powerful strategy and the shortest way your subconscious mind devises to help you get you there, when you set the right address in your mind through your identity. And this is the secret sauce. This is everything. And here I have a really powerful example to show you that. And I still remember in that week, and I remember when I experienced this for the first time, true overflow, I was sleeping and I was getting Skype notifications. And because I've got 4 kids, I sleep on quite high alert because I'm quite high alert that my kids might need me, my little one might cry. I could hear the Skype notifications even when I was sleeping. They were coming ping, ping, ping. When I woke up, they were coming more. Before I went to sleep, it was a new ringtone for me. And this experience now, experiencing this all the time, has become my new income ceiling. But it didn't happen as the result of finding the right strategy. It happened when I truly found who I am, when I truly found me. All the strategies that you're looking for, the next best thing that you're looking for, the next trend, the next magic is you. Go and look in the mirror. It's you. The only thing is you're not being who you really are. There are so many patterns that are running the show. Instead of finding that next thing, which is not going to work, I'm telling you now, after trying 8 different things, it's not going to work. Find you. And it will always work. Any strategy will work when you found you.